The struggle is there to make us stronger. It's through those growing pains that we learn. We can get into those places in our lives where we think, well, what is this? What is it all about? Why am I even here? We start to see things differently and we take on new perspectives. I actually used to be a horrible leader. It was kind of all about me. A friend of mine said, well, why is it always about you? I thought, well, geez, is it really all about me? What kind of a person was I being? Was I caring about others enough, nurturing my relationships enough? And the answer actually at that time in my life was no. Hey, it's Annie B. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to talk today about how to get through those moments when you're struggling. We all have things that we are struggling with. Almost all the time there's something that we're struggling with, be it something small or something large. But those are the moments when we feel like giving up. Those are the moments when we wonder why we're doing what we're doing. Those are the moments when we wonder why we even started this thing in the first place, because of the difficulty, the struggles that come along the way. Anybody who's building a business has gone through these sorts of struggles. Sometimes you go through these growing pains. It's just part of the process. However, the struggle is not something that automatically has to be negative. The struggle could be something that you could be grateful for. Because after all, the tough stuff that you are doing, well, if it were easy, everybody would be doing it, right? And so I don't know if you've ever heard of Brendon Burchard, but he is a high performance coach and trainer. And one of his mantras is honor the struggle. Honor the struggle. Know that it's there for a reason. The struggle is there to make us stronger. The struggle needs to be there because it's through the struggles, it's through those growing pains that we learn and we grow. We start to see things differently and we take on new perspectives that we had no idea were even perspectives that we could take on until we had this struggle. Another thing that I think is really important is the gratitude that we can have for our struggles. There's also a book that I'd like to talk about a little bit. This book is called Man's Search for Meaning from Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl was a prisoner in World War II in concentration camps, Nazi concentration camps in Auschwitz. He was a clinical psychologist with a doctorate in philosophy. And what he was observing during his harrowing experiences in Auschwitz was that even in concentration camps, some prisoners were still able to find purpose, and they were able to maintain dignity by nurturing others and by upholding ethics and by envisioning a life after liberation. What Victor created then was his logotherapy approach, and the root of the word logo is meaning. The people who were able to better survive those experiences were the people who were able to find meaning in the whole thing. They were able to look for a higher purpose. They realized that there was a higher purpose that they could serve while being in this horrible environment. And if they were able to make that their number one reason for existing during those horrible years, they were able to better get through that experience. And so Victor's logotherapy approach centers on finding meaning in life. There is a human drive to discover life's meaning. Sometimes, we can get into those places in our lives where we think, well, what is this? What is it all about? Why am I even here? I'm sure you've felt that way once or twice in your life, maybe more. But I've sure felt that way. I'm like, why am I doing all of this? What is this all for? The answer is, well, there's meaning behind it. There's a purpose for this struggle, and you have a purpose in life. So even in the bleakest of circumstances, individuals can take responsibility for their own mindset and how they're handling that situation. They found fulfillment in rising above superficial wants and in finding a purpose greater than the self. Nurturing the other people was something that gave them meaning, was something that gave them peace. So taking care of others and being other focused This is kind of a big topic for me personally. It took me a long time to understand the importance of being other focused. I actually used to be a horrible leader. It was kind of all about me. And a friend of mine said, well, why is it always about you at one point in my journey? And I stopped and I said, it's not always about me. And then when I really sat down to think about it, I thought, well, geez, is it really all about me? Is that how I've been living my life? And I had to stop and really take a few steps back and kind of look at how I was, how I was being in my life. What kind of a person was I being? Was I caring about others enough? Was I loving others enough? Was I nurturing my relationships enough? And the answer actually at that time in my life was no. So this idea about finding something greater than yourself, I think it's really, really powerful. And it's something that has elevated me to a higher place in life. I finally realized that, I get the most joy when I'm serving others. I get the most joy when I'm encouraging others. I get the most joy when I am reinforcing my students, for example, when they are having difficulty trying to reach a high note. My ability to look at them and say, hey, I know you can do this. My ability to kind of pull something out of them that they didn't even realize that they had is something that it gives me more joy than anything I've ever experienced in my life, because I get to see this little transformation that happens within that person. And really there's nothing more joyful in life than lighting up somebody else's face with a big smile and with a big exciting moment and a breakthrough moment. And so maybe when you find yourself struggling, you can kind of take a step back and think, well, what could I be doing that is a little bit more other focused? When you're doing something that's a little bit more other focused, it actually brings joy. Caring and kindness is very dear to my heart. I've learned so much about the benefits of caring and kindness, and I've experienced so much about the benefits of caring and kindness and how important it is to incorporate caring and kindness in your everyday. I cannot wait to share with you everything I've got to share with you about this topic and how it is going to change your life once you start living your life in a way that is every moment a little bit more caring and a little bit more kind. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, subscribe, and share. It means a lot to me when you share my content with the people in your life that you think would enjoy this content. And I will see you next time.